Imagine waking up one morning and realizing that one single company has quietly positioned itself at the center of almost everything shaping the future of technology, from artificial intelligence to autonomous vehicles, from data centers to robotics, from gaming to national security. That company is Nvidia, and the question isn't whether something big is happening, it's whether people truly understand what's about to happen next. Over the last few years, Nvidia has gone from being known mainly as a graphics card company for gamers to becoming the backbone of the global AI revolution. What most people still don't fully grasp is that Nvidia isn't just benefiting from AI, it is enabling AI. Every major breakthrough you hear about, from large language models to advanced computer vision systems, runs on Nvidia's chips. This isn't hype, it's infrastructure, and infrastructure is where generational wealth is often built. One of the most vocal believers in Nvidia's long-term potential is Cathie Wood. Love her or criticize her, Cathie Wood has a track record of identifying disruptive innovation before it becomes obvious to the mainstream. She doesn't chase short-term trends. She looks for platforms that can reshape entire industries. When she talks about Nvidia, she's not talking about next quarter's earnings. She's talking about a decade-long transformation of how the world computes. To understand why Nvidia matters so much, you need to understand what's actually happening in technology right now. Artificial intelligence is not a single product. It's not an app. It's a foundational shift, similar to electricity or the internet. And just like those earlier revolutions, the biggest winners are often the companies that supply the tools, not the ones that simply use them. Nvidia supplies the picks and shovels of the AI gold rush. Every time a company trains a new AI model, whether it's for healthcare, finance, defense, or entertainment, Nvidia's GPUs are usually involved. These chips are designed to process massive amounts of data simultaneously, something traditional CPUs simply cannot do efficiently. This gives Nvidia a massive technological moat. Competitors exist, but catching up is not easy. It requires years of research, massive capital investment, and deep relationships with software developers. Cathie Wood often emphasizes the importance of ecosystems. Nvidia isn't just selling chips. It's built an entire software ecosystem around its hardware. Developers are trained on Nvidia's platforms. Universities teach on Nvidia systems. Enterprises optimize their workflows around Nvidia architecture. Once you're in that ecosystem, switching away becomes costly, risky, and inefficient. This is one of the most misunderstood advantages Nvidia has. Now let's talk about data centers, because this is where things really get interesting. Traditional data centers were built to handle web traffic, storage, and basic computing tasks. AI changes that completely. AI data centers require extreme computational power, high-speed networking, and specialized chips. Nvidia dominates this space. As AI adoption accelerates, companies aren't just upgrading software, they're rebuilding entire data centers around Nvidia technology. And this isn't limited to Silicon Valley. Governments, corporations, and research institutions around the world are racing to build AI infrastructure. This global demand creates a powerful, long-term tailwind. Cathie Wood sees this as a multi-trillion-dollar opportunity, not just for AI applications, but for the hardware that makes them possible. Nvidia sits at the center of this storm. Another area people underestimate is autonomous systems. Self-driving cars, drones, robots, and industrial automation all rely on real-time decision-making. That requires massive computing power at the edge. Nvidia's chips are increasingly being used not just in data centers, but inside vehicles, factories, and smart machines. This expands Nvidia's addressable market far beyond what traditional analysts model. Critics often point to valuation and say Nvidia is too expensive. That argument sounds logical on the surface, but it assumes the future will look like the past. Cathie Wood argues that when a company is redefining an entire industry, traditional valuation metrics often fail. Amazon looked expensive for years. Tesla looked expensive for years. The real question is not how expensive Nvidia looks today, but how big it can become tomorrow. There's also the issue of competition. Yes, big players are trying to catch up. But Nvidia has a critical advantage: time. It has been investing in AI-focused hardware and software for over a decade. That head start compounds. Each new generation of chips improves performance, efficiency, and integration with software. Each improvement strengthens the ecosystem and makes it harder for rivals to displace Nvidia. Another factor most people overlook is energy efficiency. AI is incredibly power-hungry. Data centers already consume massive amounts of electricity, and AI threatens to push that even higher. Nvidia's ability to deliver more performance per watt is not just a technical detail, it's a strategic advantage. As energy costs rise and environmental concerns grow, efficiency becomes a deciding factor in purchasing decisions. Cathie Wood also talks about deflationary forces. AI has the potential to reduce costs across industries by automating processes, improving productivity, and accelerating innovation. Nvidia, as the engine behind AI, indirectly benefits from this deflationary impact. As AI becomes more valuable, demand for the hardware that enables it increases. This creates a powerful feedback loop. Now consider geopolitics. Semiconductors are no longer just a business issue, they're a national security issue. Governments are prioritizing access to advanced computing technology. Nvidia operates at the cutting edge of that technology. While regulations and export controls can create short-term uncertainty, they also highlight how strategically important Nvidia's products are on a global scale. Let's not forget gaming, the area where Nvidia built its original reputation. Gaming continues to grow, and technologies developed for gaming often spill over into other industries. Real-time rendering, simulation, and graphics processing are essential for training AI models and building virtual environments. Nvidia benefits from this crossover in ways that are easy to underestimate. The biggest risk for investors isn't volatility. Nvidia's stock will move up and down. That's normal. The real risk is misunderstanding the magnitude of the shift that's happening. If AI becomes as transformative as electricity or the internet, the companies enabling that transformation will be worth far more than most people can imagine today. Cathie Wood's perspective is not about predicting the next headline. It's about recognizing exponential change. Linear thinking fails in exponential environments. Nvidia's growth may look shocking in hindsight, but only because most people underestimated the curve. So when you ask, do people understand what's about to happen in Nvidia, the honest answer is probably not. Many see a successful chip company. Fewer see a foundational layer of the future economy. Even fewer truly understand how deeply embedded Nvidia is becoming in almost every major technological trend. For long-term investors, this is not about chasing hype. It's about understanding systems, incentives, and platforms. Nvidia is not just riding the AI wave, it is shaping the wave itself. And according to Cathie Wood, we may still be in the early innings. The world is moving toward a future where intelligence is embedded in everything. Cars, homes, factories, hospitals, and financial systems will all rely on advanced computing. The question isn't whether AI will grow. The question is who will power it. Right now, Nvidia holds that power. As the market continues to debate short-term price movements, the long-term story quietly unfolds. Those who take the time to understand it may look back and realize that the signs were always there. The technology, the ecosystem, the vision, and the conviction from investors like Cathie Wood all point in the same direction. This isn't a guarantee. Every investment carries risk. But history shows that when a company becomes essential infrastructure for a new era, its impact can be far bigger than anyone initially expects. Nvidia may be one of those companies. And that's why the real question isn't whether Nvidia will be relevant in the future. The real question is whether you recognize what's happening before the rest of the world fully catches on.